This is the Bluegame BGX63, and it isn't your average 20-metre boat. It has this open, wide, flat aft deck which connects directly to this lower saloon and the owner's cabin. And this raised living deck where you find the galley, the internal dinette and the Helm Station. It replaced the BGX60 and has quickly become one of Bluegame's most popular models. And in this video, I'm going to show you why with a full tour. I'm Jack Haines, welcome to YachtBuyer. Well, to me, this is why you'd be interested in buying this boat. This pretty unique in this sector, wide, flat, open deck. It is hugely spacious. It's also very flexible. That platform down there is hydraulic. That has a lift capacity of 400 kilograms, and it doesn't go all the way across the platform because in this fixed section here is where you find the passerelle, and you can slot a pole in here. When this drops down, it reveals a step just above the waterline, so it's really easy to get in and out of the water. And it's not really designed to carry anything despite that lift capacity, because over here, very neatly integrated into the top side, this is a 500 kilogram crane. So you can use that to lift toys into this area, put chocks down, and because you haven't got to be restricted by the height or the width of a tender garage, you can have, as long as it's sub 500 kilograms, pretty much whatever you want here. Tender this side, jet ski that side. If you like your water toys, you're going to really enjoy this boat. Another thing is, it's got to be a socialising space too, so you can see they've got their slightly minimalist sun cushions down here, but they've got a very nice selection of bean bags. I've been shown, you can picture that, can't you? Bean bags out, bit of shade overhead would be a really nice place just to chill out by the waterline, and you can serve your guests here too. This is a wet bar, but as you may not expect, instead of it lifting up, this slides across. So as well as revealing the grill and the sink, it's also creating a really nice stretch of countertop where you can prep food, line up plates, that sort of thing. Underneath, there's the option to have storage in here, but you've also got a fridge underneath, and there's more cooling space in there, as we'll see in a moment. And another key factor about this design is how it fits so nicely with this lower saloon. So through these doors, which are on that really interesting angle, we see that throughout the Bluegame range, that works really nicely. And then you're low at the waterline, but you're still very in contact with the elements. They talk about a family who, half the family love the water sports, half just want to chill out in here and read, and you can do that, but you're still in touch with what's going on deck. That this is air conditioned, it's shady, it's cool, it's comfortable. There's a TV that pops out of this counter here, so you can sit down here and watch some television. And over on this side, there are a few more facilities to serve on deck. They wanted to have the ice maker in here so it's not working against the heat out there, and there's another fridge down here as well. And the Bluegame recipe is very flexible. If you wanted this to be a sofa bed, for example, a totally different sofa, you can have whatever you like pretty much. And what's interesting is the way this connects directly to the owner's cabin. We're going to put the deck plan up on screen. I suggest you pause and have a good look at it, because the way this boat is arranged is really quite unique for a 20 metre. Let's have a look at that cabin now. Now this is another pretty unique aspect of this boat's design. This is how you access the owner's cabin, and it's directly connected to the aft deck there. Close that door. It goes nice and quiet in here. Those are really sturdy and thick. Now, we're midships here. We've got the full beam as well, so there's plenty of space to work with. You've got the bed over on that side, and then this very intricate bureau over here. Down here, they've managed to squeeze in a really good sized hanging wardrobe, and there's more storage dotted down here as well. Now in this, guys, this cabin is not connected to the other accommodation at all. They've put this as another wardrobe, but as an option, this can be a passageway through to the rest of the accommodation, which I suppose if you've got kids, you'd really want to have, so you don't have to come all the way out and around the boat to get through to their cabins. And then the other side of that is where you find the bathroom, and this is a nice space. There's enough room here for a bidet and a toilet. Set quite low, the sink down here, but there's good storage underneath it, and importantly, a really nice separate shower cubicle with the rain shower head, the separate wand. It's all really nicely put together. Right, let's go and check out the deck above. Coming out the owner's cabin, this staircase leads directly up to the wheelhouse, and then out here on the aft deck, there's another external staircase that goes up to the cockpit. Onto the main deck. First thing we're going to do is show you where you have your second joystick. I love how that just pops out, and it is in a great position. It just falls to hand really naturally. I can lean on this when I'm manoeuvring at slow speed, and because there's glass in this overhang, I can even see from here the far corner. So by eye, I can see how close I'm getting to the quayside, and because of where it is, I've got a great view forward, and if I'm starboard side too, I can peer down the side and see how close I am to the quayside here as well. This is a really great position. Of course, when you don't want it, it just pops away, and it's worth pointing out you could have one on that side as well. So then you've got all bases covered. Moving into the cockpit, this is your main external dining space, all pushed over to the port side here, so you've got L-shaped seating, you get tucked in that corner, and there is room to have a couple of chairs here and one there as well. So you can serve a reasonable sized group out here, and of course the galley is just in there. So this makes sense that this is where you're going to have your meals outside on board the boat. Decent overhang as well. There's glass in here too to bring natural light down. You probably spotted another ladder. That leads up to the sun deck, and that is just sunbathing space. Obviously you have access to your navigation equipment, etc. But in terms of living spaces, a couple of sun beds, that's where you go and catch the sun. Now before we go and have a look at the interior, let's go and check out the foredeck. The side decks are lovely and wide, well protected, but you're a long way up here, you're going to need long fender lines, and obviously there's no railings, certainly on this section, so I presume you're going to have to use fender straps over these bulwarks, but there are eyes dotted along here that you can obviously run a line through to hang fenders, and then forward you pick up a railing. Again, that's a really useful place where you can hang fenders, but yeah, you're going to have quite long lines because we are a long way up where we are on the deck here. And then we have another really nice living space. I like this railing that runs around the windscreen. You've got cup holders built in. They've even popped a drawer fridge down here, so you've got access to cold drinks. And you can really see this inward rake on the windscreen, which gives these boats such a recognisable profile. I like how all the accessories, the flare, the spotlight, are all the same colour as the hardtop as well, so they don't stand out like a sore thumb. And this is a really lovely living space. Split tables, both of which go up and down on electric pedestals, so you can make them into coffee tables or dining tables. These backrests are just weighted. They're not fixed down, so you can slide those wherever you want in this area, depending on how you want to use it. And then they've fitted walkways behind, so if you are going forward to get to the mooring gear, the anchor locker and the crew cabin, you can walk behind the cushions without having to walk on them. Crew space, the access is down here. As these types of cabins go, that is not too bad. At least it's got a nice separate bathroom, it's nicely finished. It's a bit of a cave, but yeah, it's reasonable down there, even if you are going through a hatch that's quite tight. Underneath my feet, that's access to the anchor locker, and this is a real sort of Bluegame signature. When you aren't using things like the windlass and the mooring gear, you can pull these over, and honestly, the gauge of those, they are so lovely and weighty. The quality is amazing. But you flip this over, and it's completely hidden away. Now there is a crew space. It's an option. If you don't have that, you can rack it out as a workshop, because a lot of these boats are run by the owner, so having something like a side door is important because it really helps with crewing. The person driving the boat can easily get out on deck and help with the lines and fenders. Let's head inside. Well, here we find the main internal living space. This is where the galley is, and it's pretty well kitted out with a nice big sink, 4-burner induction hob. There's an oven, and you've got a small dishwasher, but a dishwasher nonetheless. There's some extraction overhead too, and there's storage dotted around all over here. Fridge, freezer over on this side, and that is opposite the dinette. So you've got this little wrap of seating over here. These stools you can move around so people can sit around this table. You know, this is the social hub inside. It's close to the helm as well. Only a double helm seat, but people can sit here when the boat's going along, and they've got a pretty good view because you're high up here, you know, you're elevated. The TV swings down from the ceiling up here, obviously to face this seating area on this side, and you're maybe just picking up this staircase. That is that internal staircase I showed you earlier on. That drops down to the lower saloon, and you pull around and you go into the owner's cabin. Now, there is no Helm Station upstairs. This is it. This is where you drive the BGX63 from. It's really good to look at. Look at this. This is all real carbon fibre on the seat, on the dash. It's really clean, really classy, quite minimalist, and there's a few buttons here, but most of your information is contained through the twin Garmin MFDs, and they've got a really nice digital switching system where you've got lighting, you can look at your tank levels, air conditioning, you can control everything from here. Now it's an IPS boat, there are 2 engine options. IPS 1200 with 900 horsepower is the big one, it's the most popular, no one has ordered the smaller engines. It's designed to run at about 25 knots, tops out at around 30 knots, and I've driven the BG42 and the BG74 and I can attest they are very smooth, they're very quiet. Because those IPS engines are all the way back there, underneath that aft deck, we're raised and forward here, you're a long way from them, so it's quiet, fast progress. That's what these things are designed for, and the position is lovely. This fabulous bucket seat, this wheel, sort of Boston Whaler-esque, it's metal at the front, rubber behind, feels really nice in the hands, but it's quite sort of compact, everything's close to you. You don't have to stretch or reach to get to anything at this helm. You can stand, I mean if you're well over 6 foot, you can't stand that comfortably, but you can also perch, there's footrests as well, so you should be able to get comfortable at this helm. But for me, it's how close everything is. It's really nice, you feel really in contact with the driving experience, and because you're such a long way forward, you've got a great view as well. Right, if we head down this staircase, we're going to find the rest of the guest accommodation. Forward then, down this staircase, there are 2 guest cabins, but the arrangement up here, you can see you've got a bunk cabin amidships, and then forward is the VIP. But we're going to head in here first to have a closer look at this, because in this, guys, this is bunks, but you can have it as a French double if you prefer. French double is San Lorenzo code word for a small double, but a double bed all the same. This is probably a bit more flexible, if you know you haven't got a couple staying in here, and quite good for kids as well. And it connects to the day head, so it has got a Jack and Jill door into there. The layout of this boat means the day head is quite a long way from where people are going to be in the day, but that's just going to be the way it is with the way they've laid out the deck configuration. And then right forward is where we find the VIP, which is a very pleasant space indeed. You've got a double bed that's set nice and low. Often these forward berths have to be high to account for the hull. Not the case here, so this is nice and easy to move around. Headroom's pretty good. There's storage over there. You haven't got big hull windows on this boat. You've got traditional portholes, but they are big ones and they open, so you can get some natural air in here. And nice bathroom as well. This is an interesting design. They've got this patch of opaque glazing to keep your modesty when you're showering, but of course you've got the door here for access. But it's quite a good move, because when this door's closed, you're still getting the light from that porthole. Quite a good move that, and that's, you know, that takes up a nice amount of space in this cabin, so you've got a good amount of room in that bathroom. I mentioned storage. One nice thing is that under the bed in both of these cabins you have ottoman storage, which is really handy. Great place to put bags, bedding, bulkier items, and really easy to access as well. You're not having to lift off the mattress or lift off locker lids. You can get to that really easily. Very nice. Right, let's head aft and stick our heads in the engine room. Now there's quick access down to the engine room through this hatch here, but there's a big split in the deck and some hinges, so as you're about to see, this entire area lifts up for really good engine room access. Now I suspect I'm missing where a ladder might go, because it's quite a deep drop into this space, hence why I'm perched on the outside, but you can see what great access this is. Loads of light coming in here when this is open. It's really easy to move around. Headroom's great. You can inspect engines, ancillaries like the generator really easily. This boat has got a seakeeper as well, that is fitted further forward. But yeah, I mean, this is a really dream space to work on. As I've said, it's likely this will be run by the owner, so you're going to want to be able to access this space easily, and it's nice that you don't have to lift up this entire hatch all the time. You can see that smaller hatch that I pointed out earlier on, so you can drop down quite comfortably and just stick your head down here to inspect it. It's a good space. I think it takes a bit of imagination to envisage how this boat could work for you. It takes time to get your head around how this layout works, but just picture as an owner blasting out to your favourite anchorage, your favourite bay, getting the crane out, putting the platform down, unloading all the water toys, and then spending the entire day messing around right by the waterline. You are in touch with the water, and that for me is what boating should be all about. Let me know in the comments below what you think of this design. Thank you for watching that tour of the BGX63. I do hope you enjoyed it. Please give the video a like if you did. And if you'd like to watch my sea trial of Bluegame's entry-level boat, the BG42, I'll put that up there. You can subscribe up there. Thanks again for watching. I'm Jack Haines. This is YachtBuyer.